Halsey is a famous singer who, in my opinion, probably has one of the best voices that I heard in a long time. She's an incredibly talented singer and songwriter, and recently she revealed that she's pregnant. Now, if you've seen her name pop up in the headlines over the last few years or so, then you probably found that the way that she revealed that she was pregnant to be ironic and even confusing. To understand what made it so strange, you have to understand that Halsey is also an activist who has been extremely vocal about her support of abortion and a woman's right to choose.
I'm angry. Across the country, politicians are attacking our constitutional right to abortion. Let's be clear about this. Abortion is a constitutional right. Abortion is health care, and abortion is my decision. These extreme abortion bans would criminalize doctors and try to prevent pregnant people from accessing this essential health care. These bans disproportionately target those who have already been marginalized and targeted: people of color, people struggling financially, and young people. We won't be shamed, and we won't be punished. And we are standing with some of the real heroes of the movement: abortion providers, clinics, and the National Network of Abortion Funds. So if you need an abortion, call the clinic nearest you. They are still open and still caring for patients.
Now, Halsey says that she no longer believes in God, and for a long time she's complained about what she considers anti-LGBTQ and pro-life religious propaganda that she gets at her concerts. For her simply being a pro-choice activist and pregnant at the same time, that's not what makes all of this as strange as it is. What makes it strange is what she said as she revealed her pregnancy. Now, the quote was actually captured and put on the headline of a Vanity Fair article. The headline says, "Halsey announces she's pregnant," with a quote from Halsey saying, "I love this mini-human already." Mini-human, like, in other words, a baby. Now, I thought that was considered religious propaganda. Now, this might make you wonder. Halsey is an activist for women choosing to terminate the life grown inside of the womb, but at the same time, Halsey also believes that the life growing inside of her womb is a mini-human, or in other words, a baby. But if that's the case, then this would mean that she's a hardcore advocate of a woman choosing to terminate the life of babies, doesn't it? If not, then why is it a baby when it's hers and she wants it, but it's not a baby for other women who don't want to keep it? That is a profound mystery, but I think that I can help to try to explain this one. Now, believe it or not, Halsey is actually acting in accordance with the logic that's becoming the new common sense today in America. You see, we're in a culture today that is not like any other culture in history. Our culture today has made an art out of looking inside to our personal experiences and our personal feelings in order to determine what's true about reality and the outside world that we all live in. So this is why empirical facts and evidence don't faze people, and it doesn't really change their mind about what they think is true. What dictates reality for people is how they feel inside. How a person feels inside has become a way of determining what's true for them about reality. For example, how do you know if you're a boy or a girl? Well, what we're told today is that you can just look inside in order to see how you feel in order to know. So external facts like biology are simply irrelevant. This way of thinking has become so integrated into our social fabric for our youth that it never even crosses anyone's mind to think otherwise. But the problem is, when we take this way of thinking to its logical conclusion, then we end up with all kinds of absurdities, like Congress removing gendered pronouns from the English language, making communication far more difficult, or allowing people like Fallon Fox, who's a biological male, to compete in women's MMA tournaments, which resulted in Fox's opponent having her skull cracked open during the fight. In today's world, we've elevated how people feel inside to such a high degree that it's replaced objective facts about how the world really is, what we're allowed to and not allowed to say, what's true and what isn't, and so on. The same logic is being used here when it comes to pregnancy. Is the fetus a baby or just a clump of cells? Well, that really depends on how you, the mother, feels inside. If you want it and you feel like it's a baby, congrats, you're pregnant. And if you don't, well, don't worry, it's just a clump of cells that you can get rid of if you want. This is how someone like Halsey can, on the one hand, be pro-abortion and consider terminating a pregnancy to just be terminating a clump of cells, and on the other hand, consider her own unborn baby to be a mini-human. Now, the fallacy in this way of thinking is failing to know the role that feelings play and what feelings can and can't do. Feelings are great for a lot of things. They can tell you how you feel in the moment, they can help motivate you at times, and they're good for assessing psychological states. But what they aren't good for is a tool for coming to know what's true about the external world and what's true about the rest of objective reality. I actually talk about this in a lot more depth in this video, where I talk about how this ties in with what people today call positive thinking and what that means for the world. So go ahead and click here and I'll see you over there. But the next time that you hear someone claim that they're pregnant with either a baby or a clump of cells based off of how they feel, what are you going to say? What do you mean?